at GSA and Rehab Drive in Painesville. Intel Sports is 100% Liberian owned. It is an exclusive sports platform that provides extensive and quality local.
Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of the exclusive sports show here on Intel. We apologize for some technical problems. However, we are here. Welcome to this Thursday edition of the program. My name is Julius Contant. In today's edition, we will have as our guest the head of education at the Liberia Football Association, Keseli K. Kane. Will be discussing issues relative to preparations of Liberian coaches. We'll talk about his background and how far they've gone in terms of preparing coaches of Liberia and of the region. So welcome to it. We'll also speak via mobile with the media officer at the Liberia Football Association, Anthony Kwekwe. We understand that preparations are in the making for the commencement of the Women's Lower League. So we'll take this break. We'll come back. We'll begin straight into discussions.
Intel Sports, Liberia's biggest and professional sports television station, is now located at GSA and Rehab Drive in Painesville. Intel Sports is 100% Liberian owned. It is an exclusive sports platform that provides extensive and quality local content sports programs across the country. Follow us on our Facebook page, YouTube, Instagram, or better still, on our app on Google or Play Store. For business purposes, you can contact us on these numbers. Intel Sports will remain Liberia's exclusive and best sports television station.
Many thanks for rejoining us, and if you're just coming our way, this is the exclusive sports show live and direct on Intel Sports, Liberia's premier sports television station. Exclusively, we bring to you local content, sports activities in this country. We now have live on the line the media officer at the Liberia Football Association, Anthony Kwekwe. Anthony, good afternoon. Okay, I appreciate you being a bit audible. How's the LFA as to speak? How's the atmosphere at the LFA?
Well, the LFA is fine. As the national body responsible to regulate football activities in Liberia, we are going on with our normal activities, planning for future events and competitions, and the ones that are close, and also making sure that we put things in place ahead of the ones that we have coming up, including the new league season. So a lot of things ongoing. Works ongoing in rural departments and not just here at the headquarters, but likewise our sub-associations in the 15 counties as well.
Basic time ahead of the new league season. Tell us, bring us up to speed. We understand the commencement of the Women's Lower League preparations are ongoing. Could you give us our latest development?
Yeah, thank you once again. For the Women's Lower League, beginning Tuesday, 15th July, we're going to see the Women's Lower League playoff kickoff. It's going to feature 8 teams from Montserrat and Diba County, because Diba County also have a lower league that they have been running in the county. Likewise, Montserrat, even though we have other counties like Maryland that are also running the Women's Lower League, but as time goes by, they're going to be incorporated within the national playoffs in the upper women's division. So we have 8 teams from Montserrat and Diba, and 5 of those teams are from Montserrat, 3 from Diba. So we're going to engage in the playoff that's going to be played on home and away basis. So at the end of the day, 3 of those 8 teams are going to gain qualification to the women's upper league that will be called the women's first division between 2026. So preparations are ongoing. Teams are cooperating, following the plans of their lower leagues in those 2 counties, and they are also preparing their rosters to ensure that they have a better squad going to the playoffs that we saw in the national television playoffs for the male category. So basically, these are the things that are going on in the women's lower league, and still with women's football at the level of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations currently ongoing in Morocco. We have 2 Liberian also our female referee, Hannah Moses, the first Liberian referee to be selected to officiate in that tournament. That's the WAFCON. I mean, it's a historic one for us. She will be on the pitch today after receiving her first assignment to serve as assistant referee in the match between Tunisia and Algeria. It is expected to kick off by 4 p.m. later this afternoon. So a great representation there for our country, even though our women's national team missed out on qualifying for the tournament. However, we have been represented there by those two females in the referee and the administrative arm.
And the commencement of that's a good one.
Preparation.
How the feelings there, like from Swaka Mode, are talking about the officials looking at this achievement. How is it like? What are people saying?
What is a great achievement for the Football Association and the student one, and also in line with how football should have taken time, making sure that we promote women's football at all levels, and not just the players going on the pitch to go and play for team winning, losing, or drawing a match, but also on the administrative arm of it, the side that is doing referees, the basketball, promoting females at all levels. So, I mean, it's a great achievement for the Football Association to have a female representation at the level of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations, and we hope to see more. Like it has been done in the male category as well. So we saw on the men's side the men's under 20 Africa Cup of Nations. Now Joel will also be at the CHAN that is expected to kick off next month in Tanzania. That will be hosted by Tanzania, Kenya, and Uganda. So that's another representation we're going to have at the level of CHAN. So these are things that we are always excited about, to have more representations at the level of the international level. So it's a gradual process, and at times goes by the number of representations going to increase, but we see with other member associations that have more representations at those events or competitions. So it also boils down to our local teams' performance in the CAF competitions as well, because once you have a stronger league, the champions of your leagues who go out to represent the country in the Champions League or the Confederation Cup and the Women's CAF Champions League, want to do better, you show that you have a stronger and better league here. So the referees, the players, and every other administrator involved are also good enough, because the teams are also displaying what they are capable of doing based on the fact that they have a strong competitive league back home. So these are things that open the way for us administratively to have more representations at all levels: referee, general, coordinator, match commissioner, and so forth.
That's a good one, Anthony. Before we let go of you, we also understand as part of the new league season, and there is this preseason tournament, the district league. How far are we so far with the district league?
Well, the district league is an off-season tournament that is there annually at this time, where the leagues are all closed, preparing for the new league season. The LFA holds the district league, and we started the district league. The LFA using the office to form the Brussels communities within Mozzarella County. The sub-communities reach out to those rural districts. Some of those districts already have their structured leadership, and they have communities that are responsible for sports. So they reach out to them, and then the sports steering committee of each of those districts starts to put their work together to ensure that they have their district teams and justification and what have you. So we have seen a number of districts within most other countries that have begun preparation. Some just started, some started 15 weeks ago, and they are all getting in shape ahead of the much anticipated Mozzarella district league. I mean, this is a league that has momentum, like the country league as well, as we have seen in the past. So we have prominent individuals in those districts supporting those very district teams, lawmakers, businesses supporting those teams. So it's all about giving players the opportunity to showcase what they are capable of doing. And someone will say they have majority of these players who are playing in the World National League, the first and second division, and we see players are better within the district league. Yes, it's also good for them as players, because not many of our clubs have the opportunity to organize off-season or pre-season tournaments of the half straight, whether they go out and have pre-season events ahead of the new season. So this also helps in that process. Also affording other younger players the opportunity to play in the tier and fourth division that may not have that opportunity to play on water and bigger audience. Now they have that opportunity to start out the district team, and then they will have that opportunity to showcase what they are made of. And then in that process, they could get opportunity from rural clubs within the same first and second division. That this is a player that I saw in this district team, out of district 10, district 8. I think he's good enough. He can play for a first division team, be Marcel, OFC, these guys. I mean, it's a great opportunity for players as well. And this is a tournament that is funded by
Before finally, Anthony, District 17 lawmaker has a bone to pick with the LFA. Is calling for a suspension of the league, citing some financial issues. What's your response officially to this statement?
Well, as I think we just back to opinion, and one thing that I think is at all once you tell someone to be accountable to you, there is some level of funding or support that is provided for the total association to run the district meetings from national government or from most other countries, legislative caucus that will belong to the NFA to run the district meeting. And if that was the case, then we can call on the NFA to account for those funds that they provided to them to run the district meeting. So, like I said, it's squarely funded to make it things that we get from the in this case, things that are used to monitor operations of the tournament and also provide the cash prize for the winners and the runners up. So, I mean, it's not something that we want to dive into as an individual. I mean, after making the statement, I think just want to pay provided 100,000 to the district team as they prepare for the competition.
So, do you see that as a contradiction of his statement? Even though he wants a suspension, but he's supporting his district to enter the league.
I mean, absolutely, that's a contradiction. And like I said, we don't want to dive into this more, but it's not squarely that once we have a district, it is the sole responsibility of the district lawmaker to on the right report of the entire team or everything related to the team within the competition. Yes, other lawmakers may have that capability of financial strength to do so, and because of their passion for the game as well, their support to development within that district, they decide to come and write the course of everything the team goes through in the tournament. However, other districts also go out and reach out to permanent individuals and businesses within the district with all of them supporting the team to participate in the district league. So it's not simply the responsibility of the lawmaker to share the cost on everything that the team is involved within the district league. So as a lawmaker, I mean, you should do in your team or you in your district as to how much you think as a lawmaker you can provide for the team in this tournament, this year's edition, because it's something that is here annually. So it's not something that is compulsory that at all costs it must be supported or sponsored by the district lawmakers. So we have seen other businesses and individuals within the district and starting as well supporting different districts within the district league.
So, for clarity's sake, sorry, is the LFA now profiteering from this district league?
Well, I can say they are profiting from this. It's just for organizing it. Like I said, all of the operations for the district are solely depend on the intake that we get from the district league. So we have security that you have to pay at any point in time. The tournament is very competitive and things as they be aware. So it involves providing security, the provide security, adequate security, the MS service, the maintenance, if you play that game, you will report to the generator, to run the generator, and so forth, in the ticket as well. So there are lots of things that are done within the district to organize the district league, and those same funding are used to run the league. So like the 400,000 dollars as a cash prize is not something that is already laid down in an account to say at the end of the tournament we're going to consider to be the winner. So it's based on what you're going to get from the intake that's going to be provided to the winner of the district league.
Okay, thank you. We have to stop it right there. That's Anthony Kwekwe. He's the media officer at the Liberia Football Association, giving us some take and updates relative to activities at the level of the LFA, among other things, and speaking directly to the recent statement by Representative Kenneth Benson that the LFA allegedly is using the district league to mount pressure on lawmakers, and he's calling for suspension. But Anthony clarified that the same monies collected for tickets are also used as the cash prizes in return to the teams that will emerge as winners of the competition. You're watching the exclusive sports show right here on Intel Sports. With no time to waste, and I ushered in my guest, Mr. Kezeli K. Cannon. He's the head of education at the Liberia Football Association. Sir, welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for coming, and thank you for your patience.
Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome.
It's good to have you. Always you accepting our invitation to share some thoughts relative to what you are doing at the LFA. Firstly, tell us, who is Kezeli? Let's give us a backdrop, especially for who do not really know you and the work you do at the LFA.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let me say thanks to others out there that are listening to this program. We want to say thank you, and we think it is just right to give you information on what we engage with on a daily basis. I'm Kesali Kani, you just said it right. Of course, my background is in sport. That's why I got my degree in. And of course, I did diplomacy, of course. So besides the LFA, I do teach at the Foreign Service Institute at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. But basically, I'm employed at the FA as head of education. And so we have the responsibility to make sure we provide training for our coaches, through the length and breadth of the country. And of course, the training we provide at the FA is not only for Liberians because as per the CAF convention, there are space provided for other people coming from other countries. Okay. So as we go through, we're going to tell you some of the countries that are benefiting or that have benefited from training, including the many Liberians that have gone through the different training at the Liberia Football Association. Of course, we are training coaches at different levels, okay? Administratively, technically, we make sure we capacitate them to take on the coaching at different levels. So that's our responsibility at the Liberia Football Association.
Let's look at the practical aspect. Perhaps, were you on the pitch before to coach, or is just because you got the education? Or did you ever play the game? I just want to get some
Yes. I play the game. I play the game up to semi-professional level. Okay. I would say semi-professional level because, yes, I did not make it to play on a national team because of my availability. I was aiming, differently, so I was not always available for that. But yes, I play. People that play on the national team, most of them can tell you, I play with people and they know the level at which, I play. I play, of course. And when I went out to study, I played for several other cities until I graduated when I decided to pay more attention to my study. And so I decided, because the investigation, the different assignment I had, to do, sports assignment, planning and different, work, could not permit me to be actively playing. And so I had to choose between one. And so at that point, I decided to move on in academia. And so, yes, because of my knowledge in that, in sports, and what we can provide, led me to, leading that particular aspect. Of course, I'm an administrator, and so it is just, right to serve in that capacity.
Your role then on the pitch, which role?
I used to play striking role. All right, and
can you remember some of your past colleagues or players or teammates?
Oh yes. I play with several other persons. I play with people. Dogo Wiesel, right now the technical director. We play together. While in exile, I play with several other persons. Hassan that play on the national team. Stanley Parker, Lester Sandy that play on the national team. Okay. Several other colleagues that play on the national team and, in other capacity. Of course, we see the guy very big right now, in Bade, but our last coach, Keita and I play on the same team precisely. Okay. And we play for long. And, with several other persons that I play with, they can attest, and tell you
the records are there.
Yeah, the records are there.
Yeah, Mr. Kani, I want to bring you to this point. Yeah. Thank you for that background. Tell us squarely, back then, before taking on this role, I guess you've been on the fence, watching, talking about coaches, training, and then to pressing. How was it like then from your observation? Not until you got to this particular position. How was it then, talking about coaches in Liberia?
Well, I tell you, firstly, let me say this, and I'd like to throw this out to all of us. All of us that have our kids, we want our kids to go to the best schools. And the school are not, we don't call the school best school because, the walls are, well painted, well decorated, but they are very good schools because they have knowledgeable instructors. So why sitting before getting to the Liberia Football Association. Yes, I work at the Ministry of Youth and Sports as Deputy Director for Sports. And, we had the opportunity to look at the broad picture of sports in the country, but particularly football, and looking at the training, the coaches level. We thought we saw our how you call it, football, struggling. We saw our football struggling. And of course, we said Rome is not built just in one day time. So to capacitate our players, our teams, we have to firstly build the capacity of the coaches. So when I got to the Liberia Football Association in 2023, precisely was when I resigned from the Ministry of Youth and Sports to take on the job at the Liberia Football Association. We did a lot of, analysis on coaches' performance. We saw a lot of gaps, though coaches were doing training, but we thought there are several other things that were lacking. Of course, in the area of science. To be a successful coach, you must get, some ideas in science. It's very important. Training is all about science. Before we used to take it to be completely, social. Okay, you could refer to it social science or so, but for me, and in the consideration we have for sports, it's a complete science. So if you don't have a little backing in science, even your training plan, it will always be faulty. So we thought, we can look at it, we should look at it that way. We should look at the pedagogy of coaching. We should look at it that way. You call yourself a coach. You are a teacher, of course. You are, a parent. You are a role model. You are several other things that we could look at. So we have to look at it from different perspectives. And so after doing those analysis, we thought to talk to our foreign partners. We have friends outside in countries that, we look at. We look at Europe, the football in Europe. We look at other African countries. We look at the football there and what's happening in the administration, what's happening in the technical area. So we talked to a lot of people, and we thought the only way to improve our football in Liberia is to capacitate the coaches and make sure they get the requisite education to be able to push our football forward.
So since you started the process on the overall to fast forward, how has the process been? How do people come in and just treat us through?
Okay, the course is designed in such a way that they are standard. And we, as part of the CAF standard, we make sure every time we maintain the standard. The standard, if you do a D course, there are standard how many students should be in the class. The same when you're doing tertiary education, or high school or primary education, you don't pack up the class to the level where you don't talk to your students. So from that level, we have, limit of
so
students.
For D, let's start with D, sir.
D, not more than 30% can be in a class, in a D class, okay? Not more than 30% can be in a C class. Not more than 25% can be in a B class. Not more than 20% to 25% can be in an A class. So, these things are maintained, and they are of course, respected. So you cannot do C if you don't have D lesson. You cannot do B if you don't have C lesson and have not practiced to get some experience. You cannot do A if you don't have B and have not practiced for up to a minimum 2 to 3 years before, to do it. You cannot do it. So we have maintained all those, quality and standard, to make sure we get the course going. The instructors have to be qualified.
Do we have that as we speak?
Of course, we have up to 13 instructors, presently. Of course, we're going to, I have on my table to talk, about an instructor course that will be coming out in October to increase the number of instructors, of course, quality one. So we are making sure to get more instructors, but to get quality instructors. So the recent attention the instructor has to be sanctioned, approved, qualified by CAF to serve in our course, to teach in any of our courses. So, all these standards are, well respected.
So sorry, the 13 instructors that we have as we speak, are they all Liberians?
Yeah, they are all Liberians. We have one, out of the 13, we have one, who is an elite kart instructor from Ethiopia, but she's not among the 13. The 13, they are all Liberians. We have one elite right now, but she's Ethiopian, and as a matter of fact, she's leading the ongoing Lesson A course that that will be completing in a couple of days from now.
What's the period? Let's start with D. How long do we run that course?
So D lasts for minimum 8 days. Minimum 8 days, that is the credit hours.
Okay.
So as per the credit hour, 120 credit hours. So we divide that and give minimum time to be executed in 8 days. For the lesson C, we give the lesson C in modules. Okay. So lesson C lasts for 3 months. All right. So every month there's one module until we complete it. Lesson B is 3 months, but right now we're trying to modify our lesson B.
Why?
All right, because initially I said we need more materials to be taught. So if we want to teach more materials, we need more time. So based on that, we're going to have more time. Instead of 3 modules, we're going to increase it to 4 modules, as we have done with the A. A used to be 3 modules. All right, we have increased the A to 4 modules that will last for 7 months minimum. All right, so we started the A course since December 2024 on December 13, 2024, and now we're going to be completing the A course in July. On the 25th of July, we're going to be completing the A course.
Who are providing the materials for us?
All right, so the materials is provided by LFA, and LFA do support the courses through the FIFA, forward. So though students, coaches register, but bulk of the materials are provided by the Liberia Football Association. The fee where we do our practical session, they provide, something for the demo class. That the demo class is, we pick up one thing that we do our, demonstration with. And I will tell you the benefit of this, as we go on with this interview. Very, very good and rewarding. We have got some commendation from teams that have said in our demo session. Some of them got qualified and keen to tell us thank you for using our team, because we learned, we got some improvement, and a lot of things happen.
Do you do a random selection of going to do your demonstration there, or you just, how do you do it?
What we do, we invite teams, or some teams come, and tell us we want to participate. Can you give us the opportunity? And so when they do that, we assess them, and once the ages, are corresponding to the course that we are doing, we give them the opportunity.
Yeah, something just caught my attention. You spoke about ages. So is it a limitation, or is open for D, C, B, and A?
Okay, so we have for example, you're doing D, you're doing C. They are purely grassroots courses. Okay. So when you're doing grassroots courses, the reality is to deal with kids. All right. So when you deal with kids, you see what you talk about. So in most time we encourage, grassroots teams, academy, we talk about the kids. So team coming and having people in that category, most time we don't deny them. All right. We give them the opportunity, provide them transportation, and water, during the time of the course.
If you're just coming our way, you're watching the exclusive sports show here on Intel Sports. Our guest is the head of education at the Liberia Football Association, Keseli Kanen, and we're discussing all about capacity development for coaches in Liberia and in the region, respectively. We'll take this break. We'll come back. We'll talk about other issues. So please don't go away.
Intel Sports, Liberia's biggest and professional sports television station, is now located at GSA and Rehab Drive in Painesville. Intel Sports is 100% Liberian owned. It is an exclusive sports platform that provides extensive and quality local content sports programs across the country. Follow us on our Facebook page, YouTube, Instagram, or better still, on our app on Google or Play Store. For business purposes, you can contact us on these numbers. Intel Sports will remain Liberia's exclusive and best sports television station.
Many thanks for rejoining us. If you're just coming our way, you're watching the exclusive sports show on Intel Sports. Our guest is Kesely Cannon. Mr. Cannon, I'd like to say welcome back to the program. Earlier on in passing, you spoke just briefly about performance, citing some of the teachings you've been doing and the results that have been coming. But on the general level, how has it been since you started molding or preparing Liberian coaches? How has it been? What are the feedbacks that you've received so far?
I'll be very frank with you. Like I said, we talk to people outside. You know, we do assessment in different forms, and we can tell you from all indication that our football, you know, is improving gradually. But it will take us time to see the improvement. I mean, you're just not going to see it right away. Because if you look at the proliferation of grassroots teams in the country, it's on a very, very high increase. And so the fact that we are training people, capacitating, giving them the requisite training, I can assure you, few years from now, people will get to see the kind of improvement we're talking about. Many times, most of our coaches, the minute you say, can provide a plan, you know, provide, you know, something that we can look at. When they talk to you the first time, the next time they're not going to come back because you're asking for a plan. But I can tell you, most of our coaches today, when you tell them provide plan, they're able to take plan to provide to you. So coming from the side of academia, if somebody can give you plan, I'm of the conviction that you can look at that plan tomorrow, after tomorrow, or a few days after, to be able to assess what you have gone wrong in, what you have done well, you know, to be able to do some corrections. So that is an improvement by itself. So I think having our coaches doing that right now, gradually the improvement is going to be seen. So unlike before, you get to them, if you're not going to see a plan, how do you assess? You know, people are just going to be, you know, a lot of talking commentary, like people will say it. You just talk and leave it. But if you have something written, you know, I mean, it helps. It helps the employer. It helps the employee. I mean, I'm talking about the coaches. It helps the coaches. So you can look at it and be able to do better. So on a daily basis, we look at these things. And that's why when you come into our courses, we ask you for what we call, we ask you for documents. And some of the documents we ask for, we say that's something that you have done, your coaching history. All right? Your coaching history. We ask you for the document. What have you been doing for the past 2 years since you got your D, for the past, you know, 3 years since you got your C, you know, and what have you been doing? So when you look at that document, you can be able to assess that that person has been working, and that person also is able to assess, you know, the level of their work, where they have gone wrong, you know, and all of that. So there are improvement, and the improvement are coming gradually.
Are you also seeing it practically 2023 now in 2025 on the pitch with the players, talking about what you've been giving to us, specifically to some of the coaches you've been dealing with over time?
Yeah, so I can tell you, you look at most of the coaches that have gone through our courses, right? That have gone through our courses, the specialized courses, and continue to be trained. You know, and let me, before I tell you the practical side, for example, in the CAF course, we don't have video analysis, you know, as part of the course, right? But coaches that went through, we did it as a special course. So we did it firstly through Zoom. We talked to the expert, from Chicago. He provided his expertise through Zoom. And then later, the president of the Labrador Football Association and the executive committee said, no, but we need this person to come on site. So through that, we were able to get him, coming on site. So before we started the course in December, the video analyst course was held on site where our coaches participated. And I can tell you, every coach that participated in that course, they can tell you, I just hoping that you can talk to some of them that participated. It opened your eyes in different ways. And I can tell you, Julius, when we go on the football field, some of us, you see us, we are calm. Some people jumping, very excited.
So you are looking for something.
You're looking for something. So, and then you're looking for something based on what you want, and that's how you look at the game. So, because of that, most of our coaches that went through some of these specialized courses, you see them very calm, watching the game and taking note on what they're supposed to take note on.
What are their strengths so far have you been seeing, bringing them, drilling them through, building their capacity? What are the areas you think that Liberian coaches are really very perfect in?
So I can tell you, Liberian coaches, like West African, like African coaches, technically they get the training. All right, technically they get the training. So they, like I said, right now they are getting to start, doing things based on a modern, demand. Technically they get the training, they get the experience, and so what is lacking, sometimes there are other technologies in coaching, that are lacking.
Are you providing
All
them
right.
now?
So the FA is doing well, gradually getting them. For example, we get a program that is ongoing right now, the TDS program, that provide a lot of technologies. We get a view, that follow the ball, and if you're able to watch your practice and analyze your practice, the same, you can go to game, better. So you look at our TDS team right now, it's a model. So our Liberian coaches have the strength in technical, and teaching. They have the ability, and the players, gradually will grab the concept. Because the difference between the game today and the game before is the speed. And that speed aspect, you have to look at the training and tweak the training in a way that the players will get the training aspect, the demand of the game.
This is the Exclusive Sports Show. We have to go further after 2 because we started a little late, so we just want to make that little information and correction. I want to come back to you on this issue of the coaches. And you said they are doing well. Liberian coaches, yes, they have the technical know-how. Tell us about their engagement with the players at times when it comes to certain issues that need to be resolved on the pitch. I'm looking at the practical aspect. How have you been seeing some gaps or some improvements in that?
Yeah, definitely. There have been a lot of gaps and a lot of improvement. Of course, we could have not, spoken about the gaps without understanding. We could have not spoken about the improvement without talking about the gaps. Mm-hmm. Of course, we saw that, like I said before, some of the gaps were our understanding in science. And of course, the training is based on scientific, reasoning. Every training must be backed by science. So you must understand why you're doing this training and how long it will take you based on science. And there's nothing, no medicine about that. When you do your training, and measure your training, you're going to, get it just as you're supposed to get it. So some of the gaps we saw were players and coaches, interaction, where sometimes the way they conduct their coaching, when you go without playing, of course you're bound to fail because you're not going with playing. When you're coaching your athletes or your players, sometimes the way you disseminate information, if it is not professionally done, it is perceived, wrongly or interpreted wrongly. So some of these things, we make sure we correct that through the pedagogy, that is the coaching, education. I mean, the coaches, how they conduct themselves, how they, conduct their training sessions. So we focus more on that. We focus on the measuring of the training. So, measuring of the training, we know at the end of the day, once they are measured and properly, executed, we bound to move on. So we saw that, and there are improvements. We have seen most of our coaches, the first thing they come to us, we give them small tests, aptitude tests, do this training, and we have seen almost all of them that went through, some level of education with us, they are attempting or doing it properly or perfectly.
Do you agree with the sporting statement that says that to have a very good team, you should have a very good coach?
Definitely, definitely. And it is based on that I put it to all of us. I mean, our kids, we want, if your kid's going to be very, very good at the tertiary level, if that kid had the very good foundation. Some of us were lucky. We started our primary education, very good. And so it helped us to understand, so many things.
Tell us about the courses, and sorry, sir, the courses that you are offering from D straight to A. Could you just address us through quickly, sir?
Well, like I said,
in summary,
in summary, we are offering courses from D level up till A level, and now we are attempting, or not attempting, we are trying to see how we can request for CAF Pro. So, but that is not going to be done in 1 or 2 years' time. So we own that. So we have provided a lot of D courses.
What do you actually teach them or tell them? That's what I mean for D, for example, then B, C, A.
All right. So the topics are there, and when you talk about, we talk about grassroots, coaching courses, topics in D, for example, D and C, they are grassroots. Of course, we talk about, the didactics, how they need to play, the age, group, the age characteristics, which age group, play at this level, what are the exercises that need to be conducted, at this level, how do children learn at certain level, we talk about all of that in the grassroots courses.
Which is D and
all right,
C.
D and C.
Okay.
So when you come to B, SEMA professional, so we talk about, mastering, all those things that you did. Now we're talking about professionalization or specialization. So at that level, we're looking at it like a specialty, all right? Where, players already have decided. They have been, chosen, they know what to do. So,
what do you do?
So the courses provide for, for example, you have to make sure you understand the different, energy level, that has to be well understood. You have to understand, the difference between, the different planning period. You have to know when you're doing, how you call it, preparation, what to do in preparation period, what to do in competition period, what to do in transit period. You have to know all of that at that level from B to A. You have to understand that. Because if you don't understand what to do in preparation period, competition period, or transit period, then, you probably will be going to teams with 0 or nothing.
Okay, you're watching the program, The Exclusive Sports Show, more like we're talking about more technical issues here, and I guess some of you are following, and this is what we do here on Intel Sports. We have to talk with the actors in the sector, and you know exactly what's unfolding in the world of sports, especially in Liberia. My name is Julius Compton. Coming back to you, Mr. Cannon. Earlier on, you spoke about current programs that are ongoing. I'd like to give you the opportunity to tell us so we can know and follow suit. What are the current programs ongoing?
Thank you very much. And let me again come back. Since I did not say that from the beginning, I wanted to say it at the ending, but I will say it, at this time and maybe to conclude. Let me say thank you to Intel Sports. Every time you give us the opportunity to provide information to our public, I want to say thank you. There's no other way, I can say it, but just thank you. And thank you to the listening audience out there, the followers. Let me say right now we are one of the highest courses on our planet. I'm talking about in Africa. That's A. We were lucky to be given the chance to conduct A. And right now we are, at the point of concluding our A. And in the CAF A, we have people coming from Zambia, we have people coming from Gambia, that participating in our A course. We have even people coming from other places, but because of the benchmark that they did not meet, so we have to limit it to the qualification, like I said to you from the beginning. There are requirements. Those that met the requirements are those that are attending the course. The course will have been overwhelmed, with the numbers, but based on the qualification, so we have the numbers that we have right now. So that is going to end on the 25th. And trust me, this is one of the biggest achievements. The A is like a master degree, as compared, when you're comparing to it in academia. All right, so A is one of the highest achievements in the coaching field. And right now we're having the A at the top notch, okay, with instructors coming from other countries participating. In fact, at the conclusion stage, we're going to have instructor, one of the biggest instructors we have in Africa, going to be coming, to make sure we conclude this A with him teaching. All right, so I want to say thank you to the administration of the Liberia Football Association for that particular aspect. C, we are having C.
Sorry, how many coaches are we talking about?
Right now we have 16 coaches, participating in the A course. Okay. We have more than 16. They started with 20 persons. Some people dropped,
Why?
And some people dropped because of several other reasons.
Okay.
And among the number, one of them, had already done his own, but he was there just, doing a refresher or something. For example, I'm talking about Christopher Ray. Okay. Christopher Ray had already done his A in Morocco. Right. And so we call him to do some refresher courses with us. And so he was just there. So he was counted among the 20. All right. So so that one is an exception. But some people drop for other reasons. The course is so intensive. And so, if you can't cope with the intensity sometimes, you have to go and prepare yourself and get back. So that is going to be concluding, like I said. All right. And we are hoping that the media, like you are doing with other people in the sporting world, will come around to get more information on what we are doing, particularly and how we intend to conclude with this, because this is very much respected and considered by CAF, because on a daily basis they are calling, to get update on what we do to conclude this particular A that we have not had for years. All right, and so that is one. The other one is C. Okay, C, like I said to you, that lasts for 3 months. We're also going to be concluding another C by the 31st of this month of July. So we're going to start the last module in this July on the 25th. As we're concluding with A, we will be starting the third and final module in C. So yes, we're doing that. We're also going to be having the educational course, the coach educator course in October. All right, we're going to have CAF instructor coming from out, to conduct that course. So we're going to have instructors, new instructors participating in that course. So we're going to have D course, the ending of this particular July to October. We are intending to have D course. We already have the number, overwhelming, and they're going to do aptitude tests. So we select those that will be qualified to participate in it. All right. B, we have B on our table. So we are still in negotiation with CAF to give us the opportunity to conduct be. All right. And lastly, let me say this: a very big one that is about to happen.
Let it out.
Yeah, that is about to happen. And I know the FA president spoke about it, so let it not be that I'm, breaking the news.
Okay.
The FA president has spoken about it, so I'm just reiterating what has been said, all right? And that is about collaboration we're trying to have with universities, okay? Science universities, TU, Stella Maris, to do some coaching courses, in a department that they are also trying to create, that is the sports science department. In Liberia, we don't have any department that do sports, all right? So all of us that did sports, we did it outside of the country, all right? We had to go, I'm talking about on a degree level. So we're going to start that very soon with those universities and on a certificate or diploma level, and gradually based on, several other things, those in academia know the process, that one have to go through to get it to degree level. So we're going to start, on a diploma level, and we are hoping that we can make it big in those universities, at least for the first time in Liberia. All right. So all of the time, people are yearning, they want to do sports, but yeah, nowhere besides, the blessing that we have had from the LFA, connection, the CAF, standardized, course that we're doing, that capacitating our coaches, we need to do more so that we have more qualified people, teaching sports, coaching in schools. We need physical education instructors. They need to be, educated, to do it properly. Because,
so the collaboration, from the science universities, how soon do we intend seeing you rolling out that? Because I know people have already started asking a question online because it's very interesting and important.
Very well.
How soon?
Well, I can tell you, let me not be the person to say the time, but as technician, we have been given, some assignment to make sure we play our part, and we are playing our part assiduously. And so I can tell you very soon, you're going to get the news. And of course, Intel, you one of those that are always getting, the first hand.
Thank you very much. But before I let go of you, finally, I'd like to ask you this question as an expert. With all of the trainings you've been providing and continue to providing, preparing our coaches, just an expert opinion, not political views. The national team, the senior national team of Liberia, do we really need, with some of the trainings you've been providing, that's my premise for the question, a foreign coach to get the national team to where we want it to be, or if we prepare a good local coach, we can have a good national team?
Let me say this, and I like the way you put it, your personal opinion, your expert opinion. I will start with few other countries that I spoke to, I interacted with. Nigeria, for example. Nigeria coach, if you look at the history of Nigeria, though, some of you know all the history, one of the coaches that was successful, Austin, who played for the national team, and he was serving as the technical, he's the technical director right now for Nigeria, served as coach for Nigeria. He took the team far. And later he came, he was serving as a caretaker of the team, and he also took the team far. Look at several other countries. I did not come with the data right now. I can provide you data right now on those coaches. And because of their question, I'm going to make sure I catalog, information to give it my best the next time you ask me. But my personal opinion is that coaches, we can get the local coaches, being trained. Once they are given this, once they are given the support, they can make the team and reach the team to where the team's supposed to reach. What is the cardinal responsibility of a coach? To know your player. Know the need of your player. If you are a local coach You following the players, you following the league. You know your players. You know what you need. The modern football demands, several other things. And you go through the study, and then you are given the requisite support. I'm sure you can do well. To take the team, to higher level, it's just not going to be one day. Several things were lacking, and that's why we are working on today. Okay, the didactics of the game, were lacking. There was no connection. You graduate from high school, there's no way to connect from. If there's no way to connect from primary to junior high, no way to connect from junior high to senior high to tertiary, it's a problem. So right now, all these things have been identified, and the coaches have seen the need to work together. To be a professional is to work together. Professionalism does not say you go and sit down, you alone, and just work. No, you have to connect, networking. So I'm of the conviction that local coaches can take Liberia team to higher level once they pay attention to details. Once they pay attention to details. And we are seeing few of them right now, we are seeing them. They have the potential to do better, paying attention to details. They are able to analyze the team. If you cannot analyze the game, go to Europe, go to anywhere else. Bring any other coach here. They're not going to do well because they don't understand the player. It's not science. It's not medicine. You got to understand the science of the game. And so our local coaches, I'm of the conviction that they can do well, with what we are seeing right now, the training that they are getting, a lot of them are getting and paying attention to details. I'm of the conviction that they can do well. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It does not mean that, foreign coaches are not good. But equally so, foreign coaches sometimes, you got to check. You got to check, when you bring in foreign coaches. You got to check.
Yeah,
so, with no disrespect to anybody, I think our local coaches, they are on the verge of even becoming more better. If they were better yesterday, I think they are doing well, and they will become more better with several other things that they are going through and are building themselves, to go through it. I'm sure, they can do more.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
A great time here on Intel Sports with the program Exclusive Sports Show. That's how I would like to wrap it up. Many thanks to all of you for following. Join us next Thursday for another presentation of the program, the Exclusive Sports Show. Before going earlier, we had Anthony Kwekwe, the media officer of the Liberia Football Association, giving us updates. And according to him, on Tuesday, the Women's Lower League will begin. 2 counties, Montserrat and Nimba, respectively, will be following up on that as well. And we had live in studio the head of education at the Liberia Football Association, Keseli Khan. Many thanks for watching. I'm Julius Compton. Bye-bye for now.
Intel Sports, Liberia's biggest and professional sports television station, is now located at GSA and Rehab Drive in Painesville. Intel Sports is 100% Liberian owned. It is an exclusive sports platform that provides extensive and quality local content sports programs across the country. Follow us on our Facebook page, YouTube, Instagram, or better still, on our app on Google or Play Store. For business purposes, you can contact us on these numbers. Intel Sports will remain Liberia's exclusive and best sports television station. Intel Sports, Liberia's biggest and professional sports television station, is now located at GSA and Rehab Drive in Painesville. Intel Sports is 100% Liberian owned. It is an exclusive sports platform that provides extensive and quality local content sports programs across the country. Follow us on our Facebook page, YouTube, Instagram, or better still, on our app on Google or Play Store. For business purposes, you can contact us on these numbers. Intel Sports will remain Liberia's exclusive and best sports television station. Mary Sports provides you with the opportunity to interact with the stakeholders in the sector. It comes your way once a week, every Wednesday, from 1 to 2 p.m. or repeat on Thursday at 2 p.m. Mary Sports highlights major happenings and trending news, as well as activate action and stories, all in the sector. Beyond the live conversation, the analysis and discussions with the stakeholders, players, and fans live and direct on Intel Sports. Weekend Wrap comes your way every Saturday from 10 to 12 midday. Join your presenters, Elijah Pai and Edwin Batafoyan, live and exclusive on Intel Sports. It's new, factual, reliable, and professional. That's Sports Today on Intel Sports. Watch all of the actions, interviews with the athletes and experts in the sector on Liberia's exclusive sports online television, Intel Sports. Sports Cross Sports News live on Intel Sports at these times.